Hey, so I want to let you guys know that I'm going to start covering other stories from around the NHL that I find interesting, but only after I talk about the Canucks. So if you're into that, stick around until the end, or you can skip to that part now. Anyway, the Canucks played the Seattle Kraken on Saturday night, and I want to talk about a very specific moment in that game, so I'm going to move quickly here to get everyone caught up. JT Miller opened the scoring in the first period, barely getting the puck across the goal line here. Then the Kraken responded in the second period with a goal from Alexiak and then another from Jordan Eberle to make it 2-1, and then Quinn Hughes scored with a beautiful shot from the blue line to make it 2-2 heading into the third period. Quick side note, I just gotta say that Nils Höglander has been playing great lately. Imagine if he scored on this play here. He looks confident and he's working hard out there, and that's only going to lead to good things for him and the team. By the way, there's more from Big Hog coming later in this video, so stay tuned. So Seattle scored 2 quick goals at the top of the third period, and with the way the Canucks were playing, it didn't really feel like one of those games they'd come back and win. Until, with only 10 seconds left, we got a goal from Nils Big Hog Höglander! Look at this sweet give and go between him and Tyler Myers, who despite the giveaway on Seattle's fourth goal, also had a great game tallying 2 assists, including this beauty to Höglander. I was actually at this game, and even as a proud Nuckhead with only 10 seconds left in the game, I wasn't too optimistic, but this is actually the part I wanted to talk about. Rick Tocchet put out Miller, Pettersson, Besser, Hronek, Hughes, and surprisingly Big Hog, and the way they were lined up at center ice looked more like a football play was about to take place, and it almost worked. Not only did they manage to get control of the puck, they also moved it up ice quick enough for Höglander to get a shot off. Unfortunately, he shot it over the net and it deflected out of play, but again, with only 5.9 seconds to work with, they still managed to get another decent scoring chance. Look, I left the game satisfied with their performance. Even though they didn't play great and they lost the game because of it, the ending was wild, so there's no complaints here. Now, before I move on to the next game, apparently 91% of the people who watch my videos aren't actually subscribed to the channel, so if you like these videos and you want me to keep making them, please rethink that decision and hit the big button below this video. Anyway, on to the next game against the San Jose Sharks, who have been playing far better than they were the last time the Canucks played them. They're still the worst team in the league, but they're not allowing 10 goals a game anymore, so that's good for them, I guess. You know who played great this game? Or at least for the 2 periods before he was kicked out of the game for intent to injure? Nils Big Hog Höglander! Oh, and I guess the word is getting out that the Vancouver Canucks are good because Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were at the game, so that's kind of cool, I guess. Also, JT Miller has been on another level for the past few games. His whole line, too. Him, DiGiuseppe, and Besser seem to control the play every time they're on the ice. At this point, we were over halfway through the game, and it was still 0-0 until Captain Quinn scored this insanely beautiful goal, which strangely enough is almost identical to a goal he scored against the San Jose Sharks 329 days ago. Also, during this game, Quinn Hughes became the 3rd defenseman in NHL history to reach 30 points in under 20 games to start the season. You know who the other 2 were? Al MacInnis and Bobby Orr. That's what we're dealing with now. Insane. Anyway, it's 1-0 Canucks, the crowd's happy, the team's playing great, our jerseys look suave as hell, Meghan Markle's dancing, everything is going according to plan, until Nils Big Hog Höglander slewfoots somebody. This seems very out of character for him, and I was hoping the replay would tell a different story, but nope, it's clear he slewfooted LeBanc here. And no, this is not an example of a temper tantrum. I watched the play leading up to this pretty closely and couldn't see anything that made him mad. I think he just wasn't thinking. He'll likely get a fine for this and maybe even a suspension, but hopefully that won't slow him down. He's been playing great, like I said before. Anyway, he was given a match penalty, and San Jose was awarded a 5-minute power play, and I was a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. But then, before the period even ended, Sam Lafferty scored a shorthanded goal to make it 2-0 for the Canucks. The Höglander penalty carried over to the third, obviously, and San Jose did score on that power play, but it doesn't matter, whatever. Watch this. Elias Pettersson calls a penalty. I might be making this a bigger deal than it needs to be, but it really blows my mind how aware he is of who's on the ice. When he sees the Sharks players jump on the ice, he instantly knows there's too many. I think this is an example of one of the many attributes that makes him such an elite player. If I was him skating off the ice after a hard shift like that, I'd probably be thinking about what I'm going to eat for dinner or something. Anyway, Miller was finally rewarded with a goal to make it 3-1, and later in the final minutes of the game when San Jose was really pushing hard, he laid out to block a Mike Hoffman shot, potentially saving a goal too. I'm telling you, Miller is on another level right now. With a loss against the Kraken and a win against the Sharks, the Canucks are now 13-5-1, 2nd in the Western Conference and 3rd in the league. Captain Quinn Hughes is also leading the league in points, with JT Miller and Elias Pettersson right behind him. And look at this, right after the game, very little celebrating here. This is a team that's won 13 of 19 games, and they're handling it like business. They know what the real goal is. This is going to be a special year, I'm telling you. Also, shout out to 25KW91 and J Gaming for nailing their predictions for last night's game. Keep up the good work. Okay, so I want to talk about some other stuff. First of all, I feel terrible for McDavid, man. I make fun of him when he plays the Canucks, but honestly, he's far and away the best player in the league. I know he's not having the best season right now, but we can't let that overshadow what he's accomplished over the past few seasons. I wanted to highlight this play from last night's Oilers loss to the Panthers. Look at Evan Bouchard on this goal. He's one of their best players, and this is how he's defending during a tie game? It's insane. And then McDavid, of course, has to answer for it in the media, which leads me to my next point of focus. Listen to this question asked by Sportsnet columnist Mark Spector.
Are you better off to try to win this thing 4-1 or try to win it 7-5? You love this question, but I've answered it so many times. We're trying to keep the puck out of our net, obviously.
Okay, here, let me try. Connor, would it have been cool if your team didn't lose 5-3 and instead actually won 5-0?
You love this question, but...
McDavid, over here, quick question. Yesterday I farted and I shitted in my pants on accident and I didn't know what to do, and it only got worse the longer I waited, and it got so bad that I couldn't breathe in my own home anymore, and I was wondering, why does your team not try to win the game instead of losing the game?
You love this question.
By the way, I'm not making fun of Mark Spector, okay? I'm just joking around. Next thing, Quinton BYFIELD. I was really excited when the Kings drafted this guy second overall in 2020. He was great in the World Juniors, and I was pumped to see him bring his style of play to the NHL. He's got a big 6'4" frame, he's a skillful skater and puck handler, and kind of reminds me of Tage Thompson, but man, he started slow. He only had 8 goals and 33 points in his first 99 NHL games. However, I'm both happy and frustrated to say that it seems like he's finally blossoming into the top-line forward the Kings thought he'd be. Look at this great play he made last night. He's already got 15 points in his first 17 games this year, and as a hockey fan, I'm happy to see that he's finally starting to reach his potential, but as a Canucks fan, I'm annoyed. Bittersweet, I suppose. And lastly, I just wanted to laugh at Colorado a little bit here because they blew a lead last night and it was glorious. Look, I never said my NHL coverage wouldn't be a little biased sometimes. If you want completely unbiased stuff, go watch The Hockey Guy, who, by the way, is the reason I started making these videos in the first place. Cale Makar and Quinn Hughes were getting compared to each other a lot during their rookie year, but then Makar exploded with an 86-point season, a Norris Trophy, and even a Stanley Cup, and Hughes kind of got left in the dust. I was a little bitter about that, so there's part of me that loves to see Cale Makar give up the puck here, leading to the game-winning goal on the same night that Hughes becomes the first player to hit 30 points this season. Okay, thanks for watching. Please subscribe. Bye.
Special night with some Royals in the building as well?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah. I gave him a fist bump. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. I did it, though. He did it. I don't know. He kind of looked at me, but he did it, so.